Hey there, it's Elisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm doing an extra bonus reading today. And yeah, if you've watched the last couple readings, you'll know that I kind of fell off the grid for a little while. I was having a family emergency, so I've been living at the hospital and I missed several readings. But today's a special day because it's a new moon in Capricorn, and I did that reading and just posted it. And it was a huge climax that was pulling together a number of threads that have been kind of recurring on the channel for a while into like a huge climactic moment. But what's even more exciting about that is today is also a solar eclipse. So this kind of heightens the power of the new moon energy, which usually those energies last for like a month, but because it's a solar eclipse as well, that kind of extends its power for 6 months, so because of that, I'm doing an extra bonus reading for the solar eclipse. And I've been reunited with my decks because I'm back at home now, so I've been pulling out some new decks and mixing it up a lot in the last week or so. And because it's the new year and a new moon and a solar eclipse, I'm going to pull out the Wild Unknown because that seems to be what's in store. There's some big climaxes going down with this new year. So I'm pulling out the Wild Unknown Tarot to start to get the overall energies of the reading. And I've got a couple other decks that I'm going to throw into the mix too. So we'll just see where we go with this. I also just did a new moon in Capricorn reading that I just posted, and I'll link at the end here. And then there was a love reading that seemed very highly relevant to that new moon reading. And ironically, I did it last week and it never got posted because, as I mentioned, there was a family emergency and I've been living at the hospital. And so it was interesting because I came back and I watched the reading after I did the new moon reading, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is kind of wild. Anyways, oops. All right, I got this. So I'm pulling the overall energies. If you're new to the channel, you'll know that I don't generally arrange the readings on this channel according to date or zodiac sign, but more according to storyline. So there's a number of threads that have been recurring on the channel. And I try to, link together related storylines, with links within the videos as much as possible. But there's also a video on the main page of the channel that explains the storyline concept. And you can reference that if you like. Okay, on the bottom of the deck we have Justice. Very interesting, particularly considering the context of the new moon in Capricorn, where there was some wrong that was being righted, and this has been a recurring theme for some time. So this also can refer to a Libra energy, but I'm gonna keep going with this and see what other energies come up. But as far as overall energies, for this reading, we have the Ace of Cups, the Daughter of Cups, and we have the Three of Swords. So, interesting. This is obviously a new beginning in love that's happening. So the beginning of some sort of new situation involving love and abundance, which is actually super apropos for the solar eclipse, because this solar eclipse is all about serendipity and, it's auspicious beginnings in love, any kind of legal matters, new businesses, you know, this is a really auspicious beginning, and which is interesting for me because I definitely have that going on in life. And yeah, it's kind of like the joke of how many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb, because a person shouldn't require as many lawyers as I seem to have at the moment. But anyways, that's an aside. You can follow my thread about the vegan cheese empire if you're interested in my ongoing saga, but it's quite dramatic. Ace of Cups. So then, right next to it, we have the Daughter of Cups. And it's interesting because I don't usually, I mean, I haven't used this deck in a long time, but one thing that I'm getting from it right now is like, so this Daughter of Cups, it's like an offering of love, but it's just like a very, you know, beginning, but it's cute because it's like this little duckling, but it's like this duckling is like, it looks like a swan to me, but it's like a baby swan, and it has this little rainbow under it. So it's just like shows this innocent like potential of this totally innocent, just pure love that's you know, being offered, you know. So it's like this auspicious beginning and this totally pure innocent love that's beautiful with this rainbow, you know. And then the next card we have is the Three of Swords, which is a card of heartbreak and loss. And, you know, there's all this blood and, you know, it's actually a ribbon, but it's just like blood and heartbreak and just, you know, it's sad, you know. So it's like we have this beautiful beginning, but there's a cost, you know. Like somebody's going to lose out. Somebody's going to be heartbroken, you know, in order to bring this forward. And I think this was actually that is a theme that has definitely come up either in the new moon or the love reading that seemed highly attached to that. But I'm going to keep pulling cards and see if we can get more clarity on what's going on. I'm going to pull out the Bianco Nero deck, just a black and white deck, which I love. And then on the bottom of this deck, we have the Nine of Cups. So this is a wish card, you know, so it's a card of wishes coming true, you know, so somebody's been wishing for this beautiful new beginning in love, you know, but, you know, this was definitely a theme in the new moon reading, that this beautiful new beginning has been blocked for a while by some sort of toxic energy. And so, yeah, that might be related to the heartbreak, you know, because somebody's built, you know, the love has been oppressed for some time by some oppressive toxic situation. So somebody's built on a faulty foundation, and that, you know, that loss is going to be heartbreaking to somebody. So it's not without a cost, a human toll. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you know, this is a pretty big contrast, this total heartbreak and this beautiful innocent beginning, you know, pure and innocent, and then totally jaded, you know, heartbreaking, you know. Wow, wild. So, okay, I'm going to pull some more cards and see if we can get some general energies and some clarity about this eclipse, because this energy is going to be with us for a while. Ooh, I'm already starting to get some, there's definitely some cross currents that are happening already with this reading and the new, oh my gosh, wow, and the new moon reading that I'm for sure gonna link at the end here, because whoa, this is a huge climax that's happening. But you know, it's the end of a decade, so it makes sense. I mean, I suppose I would be worried if it wasn't. So okay, wow. Okay, so at the bottom of, oh my gosh, at the bottom of this deck we have the Four of Wands. So this definitely is aligned with the solar eclipse energy, so an auspicious beginning in love. But this is like a marriage, family, stability card, so this is a very stable foundation for this auspicious beginning. And that's at the bottom of the deck. So whatever love this is that's coming through, you know, it's not like a fly-by-night just like hookup, you know, like this is like, you know, it could lead to like marriage or, you know, something super stable. So then, as far as general energies go, we have the Four of Cups, which this definitely came up in the new moon reading. And it's interesting because these were the overall energies in the new moon reading. You know, or no, they were general energies. But someone was conflicted and trying to decide between these two. The Four of Cups, should I refuse it or should I let it in, you know? And there was like this internal conflict that was happening. And this card fell right underneath this one. But what's interesting is this one's in color, you know, so it's almost like, yeah, this one's pulling ahead, yay, you know. So, okay, I'll keep going there. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is can be an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Can be a businesswoman, but a nurturing, loving queen who's very grounded, stable, financially stable, abundant. And she's falling right under this innocent, pure love. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which interestingly, this is falling right under heartbreak. So this actually might be a positive message because there was this toxic situation that was blocking this love from coming in. And, you know, we have the Wheel of Fortune under this. So it's like almost like this situation is changing. It's, you know, like there's a shift happening with this heartbreak. Like the heartbreak, you know, that's been blocking all of this for forever, you know, like this energy is starting to be overpowered. So that's actually maybe a positive development. Then we have, oh my gosh, this is really interesting. Okay, so then we have the Judgment, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. So I love how these have fallen down. So, you know, it's like before I even got to this, I was talking about how there was this conflict between these two energies and that this one's like starting to pull ahead. This one's in color, right? And then right underneath that, we have the Judgment. So there's a reckoning, like this decision, this is the final decision that's happening. Like this person's been resisting this for some time, probably because it was going to be heartbreaking to somebody else. But this is what they want, you know, and this is what's coming through. So this is a change that's happening with the solar eclipse. And then underneath this Queen of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like this is a theme that's been coming up a lot too. The slow and steady effort, which is what it's going to take to resolve this situation. So this was really prevalent in the love reading that we had a few days ago. That was highly related to the new moon reading. And, you know, I think it was the advice in that reading that, like, you know, if you want to bring in this love, you know, you just got to a slow and steady effort, you know. So it's interesting because that falls right under this Queen of Pentacles energy, you know, and this energy has been orbiting around the Divine Feminine readings lately too. So that's a thread that we could link to. And yeah, there was actually a reading with these two characters in it, I believe called Co-Create Your Destiny, which I will link, about this very theme that happened, you know, as a foreshadowing a few weeks ago. And then underneath this Wheel of Fortune heartbreak card, we have the Seven of Cups. So obviously, whatever this heartbreak is causing a lot of confusion, which is, you know, to be expected with the Wheel of Fortune. Whatever situation this is, you know, it's a big shakedown, you know. So this is almost like a tower moment here. It's like, confusion, heartbreak. There's a big change happening. So it's pretty interesting stuff. I'm going to pull 3 more cards from the Wild Unknown, see if we can get some guidance about how to move through these energies. But yeah, we're like ending, you know, this is a big blowout for the end of the decade, you know. This is like not just any New Year's Eve. Like, this is epic, you know. So just keep shuffling. But it's funny because I'm like, you know, there's all these epic things going down, and I feel like I've just been trying to stay out of trouble. I've been like living in the hospital, but yet, you know, stuff, you know, the world keeps on spinning whether you want it to or not, you know. So yeah, pull a couple more cards. But yeah, I think I've definitely, I think Christmas Eve I hit rock bottom in so many ways, and so, you know, there's only one way to go, and that's up. So here's to 2020, right? Right. Okay, interesting. Ugh, these cards are kind of stuck together. All right, one more card. Yeah, I spent Christmas this year in the hospital. So that was the first time I spent Christmas in the hospital, and that was interesting. But, you know, I'm grateful that I have my family and that we were able to spend it together. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where it is, you know, because that's not what it's about. Oh, this one came out earlier too, and I put it back. Okay. So, on top of this Judgment, Ace of Cups, Four of Wands situation, we have the Ace of Cups and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is an auspicious beginning in love and business. You know, it's this major theme of this solar eclipse. But perhaps there's some new opportunity, some new financial opportunity, which, and I feel like this came up in another reading recently, but I can't remember which one, that this new opportunity is what's allowing this cup to come in. You know, this is the impetus for this Judgment, you know, because things are changing. And then, as far as this, you know, this Queen of Cups, or Queen of Pentacles, which has been making a slow, dedicated effort to offer this innocent, beautiful, pure love, we have the Father of Cups, King of Cups. So it's almost like this love, it's so funny. Oh my gosh, I just noticed this, because when this card came up, I'm like, it looks like a little baby swan, and it's so innocent and pure. And then the Father of Cups is this black swan, you know, like, which fell out on top of it. So it's almost like this little baby is coming into power, you know. It's like this little baby has come into maturity. So this, like, little innocent pure love is being ascended to its power. So that's really cool. And then on top of this heartbreak, confusion, you know, Wheel of Fortune, we have the High Priestess. So this is a card of manifestation and sort of being tapped into the collective consciousness. So it's like this heartbreak is coming online in the 3D world, you know, and it's causing all this confusion. But, you know, this almost indicates that there's support for this in the collective consciousness. So it's almost like this slow and dedicated effort where it's just like, it's meant to be, you know, whatever it is that's happening, even though it's heartbreaking to somebody, like, this is the outcome that's meant to be, you know. It has the support of the universe. So, wow, this is pretty epic. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple more cards to finish out the reading. I'm going to pull out, this is my Abraham Hicks, the Law of Attraction deck, which I really love. I got this deck while I was in London, and it's got some really wise messages in it. So we're just going to pull one and see what we get. But yeah, it does look like 2020 is set to be a good year. I know I was joking about it because on Christmas Eve, like I said, I was like in the hospital. Dad's in the hospital. Like, I've got all these legal things coming to a climax. It was with my, yeah, it's like, I can't really talk that much about it, but it's a super unjust situation, requiring lots of lawyers, and, you know, it just like bottomed out, and I'm just like, I don't even deserve this, you know, it's unjust. But, you know, at the same time, I was joking about it because I'm like, this is totally a setup for like this cheesy Hallmark movie. I just got to keep, you know that it's going to work out, you know, and just like, this is the beginning of a new story, not the end. Okay. Which is funny because it goes along with this card that just fell out, which is, I can create my world as I choose. You are here to create in the world around you that you choose, while you allow the world as others choose it to be, to exist also, but also their choices in no way hinder your choices. Your attention to their choices does affect your vibration and therefore your point of attraction. So kind of like what I was saying, you know, it's just like, you know, if I focus on the fact that everything bottomed out, you know, and that's where I'm going to let my focus stick, you know, that's what I'm going to attract to myself. But if I'm like, okay, this is a setup for comeback, you know, then I'm like opening a door for a new story to come in. And so like, that's kind of the advice, you know, it's just like, don't let that be the ending. Let that be the beginning. Because, you know, we're starting a new decade, right? Like, it's wide open. Like, you kind of have to look at it that way. And then, because we're starting a new decade, I'm going to pull one card from this Gateway Oracle card by Denise Lynn, the same author who does the Sacred Traveler Oracle, which I use a ton. This deck is super meaningful to me because I got it in the neighborhood that I lived in as a baby. So it's kind of like, and at this store that's like the first vegan cheese place in, you know, which is kind of what I do. And so there's just a lot of meaning behind this deck. So this is like a ground zero, grounding card, you know, message for me. But we'll see what the gateway says, because we are at a gateway of a new decade. It's the new moon. There's a solar eclipse. You know, this is an epic gateway to a new beginning. So we'll see what the Gateway Oracle has for us to end the reading. But oh, all right. This is a message. Cultivating prosperity. The abundance of the universe is pouring into my life. So yeah, however it looks right now, just know that sometimes things have to fall out of your life to make room for this new abundance to come in, you know? It's making room. So it's clearing the slate so that we can create a new world, a whole new world. So that's the message. Good luck with that. Like I said, I'm going through a lot right now, so the readings might be a little sporadic coming up, but I think I'm going to have 3 come out like in a 24-hour moment, just because this is pretty epic. And yeah, hopefully some of these messages will be helpful to you, and we'll check you later.